Let me tell you the moment that I knew Impulsive could hit 100 million views in a month. It wasn't a viral guest, it wasn't Logan's name, it wasn't a perfect episode. It was the day that short form platforms ended up taking off. I'm talking back to when TikTok just started its rise and podcasts just started to realize how big it could be if they started implementing more TikToks. And then right around that same time was when YouTube Shorts started to take off itself and that short form revolution took off. It was then in that moment where I realized if we were able to capitalize on this opportunity, on this short form revolution, we could make Impulsive into something that no other podcast has even touched before. And today I'm gonna break down exactly how we did it from somebody who has been working with Impulsive for over 6 years. I'm the co-owner and content producer for Impulsive Podcast. Over the last 6 years, I have my hands in carrying around the equipment, setting up the podcast, editing the full episode, posting the full episode, being a guy who oversees and gives notes on all of the clips, and even had my hand in creating so many of the clips, but now I have my hand kind of overseeing everything. And when I joined Impulsive, we were at 1.8 million YouTube subscribers, and now we're at 4.8 million YouTube subscribers, 3 million increase. We went from having a TikTok that had 0 followers up to 3.6 million now. We had an Instagram account from 300,000 to 1 million now. And the biggest misconception is that all of this just happened only because Logan was famous, which is just ridiculous, because if that were true, every big name celebrity who has a podcast would be insanely viral as we are for Impulsive Podcast. And that's just not the case. The real reason is the system. The moment that changed everything for us was flashing back to 2021 when we interviewed KSI, and this is the first time that Logan and KSI have sat in a room together and they did a long form podcast. And it was obviously one of those situations where the whole internet was around and looked at this video and said, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. The two of the biggest YouTubers are coming together and they're making this podcast. This is incredible. And it was in that moment, right after the podcast, right as we started to see some great numbers for our long form, where I started to realize the value of short form, and that if we were able to take the massive amount of views that we were getting slowly by long form content, if we were able to get those massive long form views, introduce them in that audience to short form views as well, in a new audience to short form views as well, then this episode will go even more viral. And it did. Like, the fact that it's sitting at 19 million views for a podcast is one of the craziest, most highly exponential growth podcasts of all time. And it may not be touching Shannon Sharp's episode that he did with Cat Williams, but still, like, 19 million views is crazy work. And then it happened a month later when we had the MrBeast episode that now sits over 8.3 million views. That episode, the reason that it got there was all of the short form viral clips. Those episodes, paired with our short form strategy, ended up getting us both back-to-back 100 million view months across all of our social medias. And you wanna know the secret with all this? All this was done with 2 people, me and an editor. That's it, okay? You don't need this big drastic team. We had a podcast that at that time probably already had about 2.5 to 3 million subscribers. And yet it was run by a content producer and an editor. And we were able to formulate this very strategic plan. Now, I'm not saying you need to be that lean with your team and with your podcast, but it's something to think about. You don't need to hire 5, 6, 7 different people. Sometimes you just need to hire 2 A+ players and you find yourself in a great position. Most people think it's the guest, the production, the set. Those matter. But the real 3 reasons that Impulsive scales is because of this. We deeply understand viral clip structure. These are a list of a few things: finding story beats, shaping a narrative, building curiosity, removing fluff at certain parts, hitting a tension point, and driving people to long form content from our short form. Number 2 is that we pick topics that drive the title and the thumbnail. No random conversations, just intentional seeds early planted to lead people into the episode. Third is that our distribution of this content is relentless. I told you about our Instagram growth, and we're posting about 2 times a day on that. 1 time on Instagram Reels and then 1 time on Trial Reels. We have our TikTok. We're posting every single day, twice a day, likely a lot of the times on TikTok, especially when the episode just goes live. 2 times a day is the minimum of what you should be doing. Obviously, making quality content is gonna be the way to go. And then all of this combined, you should be posting about 10 to 14 short form pieces of content. We like to post those same short form pieces over Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Just the same exact clips, but if you make them good enough, they're able to be going viral viral on multiple different platforms. And then on top of that, we post our medium form clips on our YouTube clips channel. And those are clips usually between 2 and 10 minutes long. And then finally, we have Twitter clips where we post about 6 of those. And those are between 30 seconds to 1 minute 30, just something to go viral a little bit more and push that episode out. And this is what 100 million view months actually look like. Most creators are just pushing out one piece of content every single month for their podcast. And they're realizing, well, what the heck? I'm not blowing up. What's going on? When meanwhile, we're posting at least 20 to 30 to 40 different pieces of content every single week across multiple platforms. So why do our clips hit 1 million views so often? Well, here's the secret. First off, we don't really make clips longer than 30 seconds. One reason is because these platforms are so reliant on average view duration and watch time. And so if you're able to get somebody to stay across a whole video, a whole 30-second video, 100% average view duration, then that's gonna boost it so much more than you making a 1 minute clip and someone only getting through about 20 to 30 seconds of that clip. The full-on 100% is gonna be much better for you. So unless you have like A+++ storytelling, we're able to use these techniques to fully engage that viewer every single time, then I would recommend not even making clips past 30 seconds, unless you have like a really good story lined up. And you wanna know what's funny is that I already touched on the clip output and how many clips we're actually putting out. But to be honest, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are probably putting out more quantity of content than us and aren't doing as good, aren't getting as many views. And that's not just because we have our name attached to Logan Paul. Good, it's great that we do have that. But we are putting out much more quality content than those people, and so we're able to go more viral. We understand those specifics on these platforms. So as the guy who edits the full-length episodes too, let me share some key secrets that I do to make sure that we're keeping retention even within those long-form episodes as well. First off, it's gonna be cutting before the blinks. This one is a little bit more tailored and it's very specific, okay? So as somebody is blinking, they usually end up finishing a sentence and then they blink. You wanna cut right before the blink, whether that's clips or whether that's long form content. It's gonna be a lot more visual appealing when you can actually do that. Next one is gonna be switching angles every 6 to 8 seconds just to maintain that retention. Using B-roll when it enhances the story is obviously very useful. Adding pictures at key moments, once again, similar idea to B-roll, just making somebody actually be interested in viewing that piece of content, that podcast, just a little bit more. Having clean audio and making it punchy. And then most importantly, creating a teaser that immediately evokes curiosity. I have made so many videos in the past, whether it's within my community or whether it's even on YouTube here, about stressing the importance of making sure that your podcast episode within the first at least 30 seconds has a very good teaser that gets somebody to want to watch the full-length episode. If you don't do that, it's highly unlikely that somebody new is going to be investing time within your podcast. When it comes to the first 30, 60 seconds, one of the best things that you can kind of do is start with who the guest is, what's interesting about them, hints of big topics, and then end off on one major cliffhanger. Ideally, a lot of the topics that you introduce will end off like on a mini cliffhanger to get them still interested in the episode, but that final topic that you finally introduce right before maybe your title card or your final jingle is going to be one of your best, most interesting topics. For titles and thumbnails, it's really me, Logan, and Mike. And at Impulsive, we like to focus on 3 things: drama, curiosity, and a proven topic that has worked well for us in the past. I usually spend about 10 or 15 minutes actually brainstorming, and then I send it to Logan and Mike, and we probably refine the title for about 30 minutes or so. The thumbnail is also huge too in respect to your brand. So when people see Impulsive, they understand that it's gonna be this bright blue, this bright yellow. They're gonna have Logan's face on the right, they're gonna have the guest's face on the left, and they're gonna have the multiple things that they're talking about, people in the middle, and then the guest's name at the bottom. It's something that somebody every single time they're coming to the podcast, they can look forward to, they can understand, and they can expect when they're about to watch your podcast. Brand equity is gonna be a lot better for click-through rate. Now here is the unseen advantage. Ready for it? Consistency. The last 6, 7 years that I've been working with Impulsive in the podcast, the amount of times that we have missed a week of uploads have probably been less than on my hand right now. Like, we don't miss weekly episodes very often. And that builds so much trust with your audience. Your audience wants to see new content every single week. and you gotta give them that. So you gotta think that consistency compounds a lot better than just any other hack out there. So you might be thinking at this moment that you are a small creator and you don't know how to grow your podcast. You don't know the certain steps to take right away to grow your podcast. Well, let me list off a few things. First off, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're committing to at least one long form episode per week on one singular day, ideally Monday through Friday, because people are kind of like out and about on Saturday and Sunday. And so you wanna get them out Monday through Friday. Next, I would commit to 7 quality short form videos per week to promote your long form podcast. Keep everything posted on one channel and really also focus on that first 60 seconds of your episode. That teaser is gonna be very, very important. You're gonna wanna make sure that you have clean audio. Literally nothing makes somebody wanna click off more than a podcast that has terrible audio. And what goes hand in hand with that is a podcast that has terrible visuals. I swear, like, video podcasts are the only thing that are popping off nowadays. And so if you don't have video, or if your video is not quality, if it's 720p, you gotta invest in at least 1080p. Focus on shorter clips with stronger hooks. And then finally, download trending song instrumentals. I already have like a list of like 275 trending song instrumentals within my community. So you can check that out and join if you really want to. But if not, download them off YouTube, do your thing so your clip can stand out or actually just be at the level at some of these other top podcasts. They evoke so much more emotion than just a clip that doesn't have any sound or any music behind it. And then also stop using AI clip generators, something like Opus Clip. Yeah, it's like fine, like at the start, it can get you some views, but really those views don't really convert to followers. The fastest way, I would say, is if you aren't very savvy with your editing just yet, hire a really good editor, hire somebody who's already pretty savvy when it comes to creating viral clips and creating viral podcast clips. Hire them, try and learn some of the storytelling thing and hopefully build with them and maybe even just learn from them, create some clips yourself, model clips, and just like learn and just like don't be afraid to invest in your podcast. So here's the truth. Impulsive doesn't win because we have the biggest guest, okay? We do have big guests. Don't get me wrong, but that's not it. It's not only because we have Logan Paul doing his thing. It's because we're focusing on really quality content, both short and long form content, all the time, consistently for a long period of time. So if I were you, triple down on the quality of short form content that you're making, and then that will eventually push those people to your long form content. It's all about execution, not luck, not fame, and not shortcuts. Now, if you want help building this exact system for your podcast, I have a podcast community that talks about a ton of this stuff, okay? Anything from improving your clips to improving retention in your long form episodes to titles to thumbnails. I give you feedback on what's working on your clips, what's not working on your clips, what's working on your long form podcast, what's not working on your long form podcast. At this point, hundreds of professionals within this community who also give input on improving those aspects of your podcast. And not only that, you have myself in there who can give you 6+ years of experience working with Impulsive Podcast. If you want access, click the first link in the description.